Okay, so the Sussur Bloom is a flower found in the Underdark, and it emits an anti-magic aura. And while it's a very bad idea for a magic user to hold one, if you don't dabble in the mystic arts, it's a very effective weapon against magic users, and as you'll soon see, a certain type of creature that we're going to be seeing a lot of once we reach Baldur's Gate in August. However, the bloom has a lot more potential than you think. If you don't want to be spoiled or you don't like hints, you can go away now and hope you find these secrets on your own. Here are a few things you didn't know you could do with the Sussur Bloom. First, let's pick one up. If you're looking to finish the masterwork weapon, this is where you're going to end up when you're looking for Sussur bark, and you'll have no problem spotting the first Sussur Bloom. There are about 4 more in the area, and you're going to want to pick all of them up. If you decide to continue on and fight the monsters here, you can test the bloom on the dark elf enemy that keeps those hook horrors as pets. From here, you can take the bloom to Grimforge and cause all sorts of problems for Nier, which can be fun. But before we do that, let's head to the Arcane Tower and fight the enemies there first. You'll see why in a second. Now be sure to pick up the extra blooms you find there and put them with your other blooms. I think by the end of this you should have 5. The turrets around here will shut down when they're in the anti-magic field, making it very easy to make your way past them. You can just throw a bloom next to a turret and shut it down and then go in and take it out. At some point in the tower, you're going to run into this little chest. And if you manage to pass an Arcana check, I think, you can tell that the chest is protected by magic. And if you just happen to stand next to it while you're holding a Sussur Bloom, it's going to take away the enchantment and you can see what was actually in that chest. Then you can just make your way through the rest of the tower, and as long as the fight doesn't start immediately when you show up, you can do this trick. Go to each of the little armor guys and drop a bloom right next to them. Then you can start the fight. Remember the turrets? That's what happens to the 4 smaller constructs, letting you deal with Bernard, or whatever his name is, without worrying about the archers. The same result is found when you run into the animated armor in Grimforge, so place them accordingly when you decide to fight them and you want to use the Sussur Blooms. These 2 fights highlight a weakness we can exploit when we get to Baldur's Gate, which is supposed to be guarded by constructs. Constructs that might be susceptible to the anti-magic field of the Sussur Bloom. There's just one little problem. This bright blue flower, picked from a budding Sussur tree, exudes a honey-sweet aroma, which turns foul and eventually fades away if the bloom is exposed to sunlight. The Sussur Bloom can't go into the sunlight or it withers and dies. But there's a trick to make it work. And once you do, every magic user in the game becomes an easy target. All you have to do is put it in a pouch or a bag. I love that we have various containers that we can put things in and organize our inventory with them, so I'm always picking up bags and unique containers. But once I read the bloom description, I wondered if the devs took this into account, and it turns out that they did. Unfortunately, there are a few glitches with the bloom. If you put the bloom in a pouch and then put the pouch anywhere else other than your own inventory, the sunlight somehow sneaks in and destroys the flower. So as much as I'd like to reverse pickpocket something and put the Sussur Bloom into an enemy's pocket, you can't really do that. There is also a glitch where if you are standing in your group and your companions all are in the aura and you save and then reload, they kind of get a pseudo-permanent anti-magic aura around them. The only way to get rid of it is to leave, separate yourself from the group, come back so they all get the purple text that says Sussur aura or anti-magic aura, whatever. And then once you leave, the aura will disappear. However, as I was testing different things for this video, I ran into a glitch which caused Glenn to get a permanent anti-magic aura field, which was very problematic, and I had to go backwards several saves in order to find a point where he didn't have that aura. So as long as you're not putting the pouch on the field or in your companion's bags or anything like that, you shouldn't run into a bug. But if you do, be careful. You could accidentally give yourself a permanent aura field. Anti-magic field, so be careful with that. But now that I'm thinking about it, with all of these bugs and things with the anti-magic field, I'm not sure if this is how the Sussur Bloom is supposed to work, So it's possible that this trick will not work in the full release of the game, but I'm going to absolutely test it out and see. But that's going to be among the first things that I test when we can finally play this in August. So since you can't move the pouch, otherwise the Sussur Bloom is destroyed, as far as I know, as of right now, if you want to take advantage of this trick for, an entire playthrough, you're going to have to keep it on you at all times. I did test this on a Githyanki to see if their psionic stuff was spell-based, and unfortunately it is. So if you're going to carry a Sussur Bloom, you have absolutely zero access to magic, so keep that in mind if you decide to use this trick. But anyway, I hope you liked this trick. If you want to catch any new secrets I might discover, be sure to sub to the channel so you don't miss them in the future. The next video I have in mind is talking about how to find these secrets on your own, so look forward to that in the future as well. But for now, that's it. So like the video if you liked the video, dislike it if you disliked it, and until next time, I'm Space Coconut, and you're welcome.